acha abirdari Punjabi ta mat chai. It's not that a white Punjabi they want. That time I knew a single shop in Kolkata, not a single tailor, no one. In 3 months, or not 3 months, 6 months, I left Raj Chakraborty and I started working as a freelancer. It's been 10 years now working and hopefully I've done something.
You know, like you're saying, তুই ব্লাউজের দোকান করবি, তুই কি গে, তুই কি হোমো, you know, এই যে মানে এখনো if a man wants to study fashion, of course এখন it's become much more respectable.
There's a lack of endorsement. The people who are entitled, they expect we will dress them for free.
So people who will buy Sabyasachi will buy Sabyasachi. People who can't afford will buy from Sarojini Nagar. So that's simple as that. Ritudi as a star is so beautiful. If you go to Ritudi and ask Ritudi, you please wear this, I've made this, but she will wear it. She doesn't think twice before wearing it. She's the first person who has took me as a personal stylist.
Right. Welcome to the latest episode of my podcast, Straight Up With Shree. I haven't been excited about an episode like this as I am this afternoon, because after so long, I am back to doing what I got into journalism for: to talk to designers, to talk to textile revivalists, to talk to, as I say, creative evangelists, stylists, who actually, be it a film, be it a personality, be it a store, be it a restaurant, it's the lens of design and artistry which actually gives a vocabulary to the aesthetics of our mind and puts it out before you. আমার এটা খুব ভালো লাগছে যে আজকে আমরা কলকাতার দুজন, I would call them the young Turks of fashion and film, both, you know, of the ramp, the runway, and a lot of OTT, a lot of films. Abhisek Roy, who we all know and love his work, and Rohan Pariyar. আমার যেটা ভাল লাগছে যে আমরা এখন রোহানের বিউটিফুল couturistes boudoirতে বসে আছি, literally in South Kolkata, not in south of France, and Abhisek and Rohan happen to be good friends, and we'll come to that, you know, because our perception of the fashion industry is that it is cutthroat, it's competitive, you know, there's drugs and alcohol and, you know, partying and debauchery. In fact, I remember many years ago when my mother told a relative that I write on fashion and lifestyle, she said, oh my God, তাহলে তো মেয়ে একেবারে নষ্ট হয়ে যাবে. Page 3, you know, it was, এখনো, I mean, women don't get houses on rent if they are lifestyle journalists, because the perception is that এটা একটা নষ্ট profession. So ঠিক আছে, আমি নয় নষ্ট মেয়েই হলাম. Happy to own that space as always. And today is really my day with, now I have you know, another shoot with these two young Turks. So আমি অনেক বকবক করেছি. Now we'll have a নির্ভেজাল আড্ডা and unadulterated, unfiltered conversation about fashion, about films, about celebrity dressing, about does fashion really sell in India, or are we in a country where the moment you know, Radhika merchant wears something, you'll find all the dupes, as they say, in a Sarojini Nagar market or in a Boro Bazar. So আমার সাথে Abhisek Roy আছেন, Rohan আছে. So welcome. প্রথমে তো একটা welcome জানাচ্ছি. Thank you. We are all on our coffee dates here. Welcome, Rohan. Thank you for lending us this beautiful space to host our podcast this afternoon. Firstly, I want to understand তোমাদের backgrounds of design. How did you come onto this profession? I'll start with Abhisek. It is not an easy professional choice. At least when I, you know, আমার পড়াশোনা, I'm much older to you all. আমার পড়াশোনা যখন শেষ হয়েছিল 1996-এ, and I moved to Delhi. I worked in the Asian Age. I was given my first assignment in the features department was to cover JJ's show at his Chhatarpur farmhouse. And I was given that because I was like a trainee journalist, and because fashion was treated like, you know, just something. And, you know, these luminaries of fashion, Rohit Bal, JJ Valaya, Tarun, TT, you know, they were famous in Delhi because they sold bridal wear. So, you know, the richy rich wore their clothes. But fashion hadn't become so massy and so commonplace then. So আমার মনে আছে, my one of the seniors who was like a bit of a bully initially, she told me, don't think you've pari jaise udne mat lago, JJ, why they gave you that assignment, because the PR won't give us a car to come back, and who'll already come back from Chhattarpur thandai, Delhi, January masher kon kone thandai. But that was my first assignment, and JJ then became a dear friend. He continues to be one. Tomader aesthetics are very different from what I have seen on the runway and in your stores. Rohan, you come, according to me, from a very westernized and a very European sensibility, which is very posh, which is very Bridgerton, which is, corsets are your speciality. You recently showed at the Indian Museum in collaboration with the Embassy of France. You had a full opera there, and it was, the high drama kind of real runway fashion, like Jean-Paul Gaultier or something, right? Abhisek, on the other hand, when I see Abhisek's clothes, they say in Hindi, mitti ki khushbu. Shantiniketan, the textile, the katha work, the simplicity and yet the timeless tradition, that sort of, shines through. When you all chose fashion, তুমি টেক্সটাইল নিয়ে পড়াশোনা করেছো, Rohan, when you chose fashion, was it still a difficult choice as a career, as a man? We'll get to sexuality, all of that later, but was it difficult?
Slightly, not a lot, because by the time I decided to step into fashion and go ahead with it, it was already 2011.
Okay.
So quite late.
Yeah.
So I was just in college then, just my first year of college. So for me it was not a very difficult path, but it still was, because my parents and I decided that I should embark on a much more serious, in their words, a serious profession. So I was studying for the civil service exams.
Oh my God.
And
what
the first
a
3
U-turn.
first 3 months of my college life, I spent studying for the Indian civil services,
Right.
and more of crying. I cried a lot in those 3 months. It was impossible. I couldn't have studied so much. So
The fashion ki kore, how did you get into it?
I wanted to do something apart from doing my English honors graduation
Right,
from Calcutta
right.
University. So I couldn't think of anything else. I couldn't understand if I should go for a part-time fashion design class. So I started taking up jewelry design classes. That led to my college union say that তুই ডিজাইন নিয়ে কাজ করছিস, তুই একটু কলেজ ফেস্ট গুলো ডিজাইন করে দে, একটু টিম নিয়ে ওটা কর, participate in it. So that was a very casual something that turned into me forming a team and participating in Channel V, Nokia India Fest, and couple of others. I've actually seen Abhisek on stage while I'm a participant there, and he's already a guest there.
Right,
But I'm
right.
like, okay, wow, he's a Bohurupi Shantiniketan. I've basically heard of him right from the beginning
Right,
itself.
from the beginning, yeah.
So of course, and then eventually fell in love with the whole idea of dressing up. It was like having life-size dolls.
Right.
So play dress up, and the makeup and the ramp and the runway and the excitement of it and the making, most importantly,
Right,
because
right.
the longest time we would spend behind this is like in the making.
Right,
The presentation
right.
barely takes some time.
Right.
But the making is what is actually the
The hater kaj, it's art.
Exactly,
You're
and-
making art.
so then I fell in love with the process, and eventually I took it up.
You studied fashion?
No.
Wow. So
I'm
you're
an
like,
English honors student.
oh my God.
But I, through like these college fashion shows, I started working with events, like organizing events in fashion, which led to me finding a job with Shorbori Dotto as her assistant.
Okay.
That was the changing point. in my
With the
life.
label Shunno.
No, with
Shorbori
Shorbori Dotto individually as a designer,
Right.
when she had started working outside of her studio as well, in support of artisans for Bisho Bangla and other
Correct,
NGOs.
correct.
That was the time when I was assisting her with the production with respect to those organizations.
Right.
Shunno came after that.
After that.
Yeah.
But if I see your clothes, I see no, like, it's so posh. It's so, the cuts are, like, one complaint that I usually have about Indian designers is the cuts are not, if you take a Gautier gown or whatever, I mean, of course, Indian fashion designers have put our fashion on the runways. But at the end of the day, Tomar fashion sensibility is very like Occidental. Where did that happen from? I mean, what was your inspiration?
I mean, this Cinderella. Let's give the credit to
okay.
Cinderella.
Okay.
It was that dress, that outfit, or the idea that, okay, I want to make something like this as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was that. So even though I started working on sharis and Punjabis and Indian wear completely, my ultimate goal was to, make that gown.
Gown.
In my head, it would always, okay, I have to...
Like a fairy tale romance kind of thing.
So I always wanted to make that. That is what led me to studying tailoring instead of fashion design as such. So that I could actually work.
And are you good at sketching?
Not really.
Okay.
I sketch just enough for me and my team to understand.
To give them the instructions. Abhisek, তুমি তো টেক্সটাইল নিয়ে পড়াশোনা করেছো শান্তিনিকেতনে. শান্তিনিকেতন is really it's an artist's, I think, haven, right?
True.
You find a melting pot of so many kinds of music, art, dance, poetry, writing. It's an amalgamation.
It's a world in itself, actually.
It's a world. It's like a little cocoon.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was Kobe Guru's dream. যে একটা আর্টিস্টদের একটা like a residence হবে, বিভিন্ন রকমের তখনকার দিনে এই ওয়ার্ড গুলো ডাইভার্সিটি এন্ড ইনক্লুশন এত কমনপ্লেস হয়নি, কিন্তু অ্যাকচুয়ালি স্বপ্নটা তো তাই ছিল, ভিশনটা ওনার হয়তো তাই ছিল। তুমি সেই শান্তিনিকেতনের পড়াশোনা থেকে you are the face, আমি তো I have never known any other stylist in Tollywood or in Kolkata with the kind of the respect and the kind of fan following and the adulation that you have, right? And you've earned it. So ওই জার্নিটার কথা আমাকে বলো।
So as a student, I was till 12 I was studying science. So after that I actually gave JEE exam and where I submitted a blank paper. Because I never wanted to be a doctor or an engineer. Though I used to love studying science.
Chilo?
Never ever. That's the luckiest
That's
part.
A very empowering
So my dad
thing.
told me, whatever you feel like, you do it. And because I love studying science. Not that I didn't like studying science, but after studying science, still I wanted to be doing something related to art. It's not, that time I didn't think I would become a fashion designer or something, but I do want to do something for art, like arts, something related to arts. So I got through Shantiniketan, and that 6 years actually changed my
trajectory
and my vision. Actually, you can say that the way of looking at things, the whole cultural aspect of it, studying in a university with students throughout the world, mingling with different kind of cultural people. So the whole mindset changes. And there I started doing, theater costumes.
Okay.
So I used to love doing theater costumes. So one of our senior, like a professor, he told me that post-college, you shouldn't do something of textile art. I think you should go for, costumes or something related to that. And in my mindset, I always wanted to do something like that. So after finishing college, next day, 3 of our friends went to Bombay. Just like that, without knowing anything. And as you told, Shantiniketan is a cocoon. And it's a world to itself.
Yeah,
it's a world to itself. You feel that you are in a safe world.
Yeah, safe. Yeah.
But after going out of college and placing yourself in a city like Bombay, you then felt, okay, the world is something different. But again, after 3 months, I have to come back to Kolkata for some family reason. Then I started working. One of our seniors used to be a production designer. He's quite well known in SVA. So he called me for a movie thing. You want to work with something? I said, why not? I'm open to do something right now. Then one of our senior, she's also, I assisted for her for the first movie. It was a Q's movie, Ludo.
Ludo.
Yeah. So that's the first movie I worked as an assistant designer.
Okay.
But after that, I joined Raj Chakraborty in his house as a stylist, in-house stylist. I still remember the first day of interview when Raj asked me, have you seen any of my movies? I said, no. I really, that time, I told you, I was in a cocoon for last 6 years. Yeah. For me, cinema used to have a different language altogether. And watching commercial cinema was not at all my genre. So, but after, that day, when I started working in Raza's house, one thing I was determined that I have to prove myself here. That time I knew a single shop in Kolkata, not a single tailor, no one. But in 3 months, or not 3 months, 6 months, I left Raj Chakraborty and I started working as a freelancer. It's been 10 years now I'm working, and hopefully I've done something.
Yes, of course you
Yeah,
have.
so that's the whole journey. But initially in college, when I used to study design, people used to, all my friends were doctors, engineers, and IT people. They're like, what will you do with designs? Will you give a blouse shop? I said, I don't mind. Our blouse dukan holo ashubidha nahi. But I want to do something which I will not feel ki why I'm doing it. I do something which I love doing it. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm still continuing doing that.
You know, a very close friend of mine was very keen to study fashion. And, I remember when he met with the most unkind remarks, including taking sort of jibes at his sexuality. Je, baba, tu ki gay hoye geli naki, mane, made it blouse banabi, same kind of thing. Because it is a fact that most of the world's most renowned designers who've dressed the most beautiful women, and I use every woman is beautiful, but I use this consciously, famous women in the limelight, have been gay men. My closest friend, he lives in Delhi, one of my closest buddies. I always tell him that I think if I'm Carrie, I need you. The whole Sex and the City thing, that every girl, needs that one guy friend with whom she can just, when it talk shit, bitch, dress up in front of him, But AJ, this, like you're saying, tu blouse dokan korbi, tu ki gay, tu ki homo. AJ, akhono, if a man wants to study fashion, of course, akhon has become much more respectable.
Akhon, it's like a in thing to be.
It's like an in thing. And akhon abar
studying fashion is in.
Akhon abar ultota. Everybody is a fashion designer. But কিছুই জানে না সে দুটো লেস লাগিয়ে আর একটা বোতাম লাগিয়ে fashion designer.
Yesterday only me and Rohan wasn't having a conversation while coming back that আমার একটা problem আছে. Either you name yourself a fashion curator or a fashion designer.
Absolutely.
People like us or who have studied actually fashion or textile, then we feel what we have done if everyone starts calling them a fashion designer.
Exactly.
Buying sarees, putting a lace and selling it is not a designing.
Absolutely.
It's something you're curating. That's fine. But but you tag yourself as a fashion curator.
Exactly.
So that's and the points you're talking about, I think I'm lucky because of my shape and size. People are scared of ulto palta bolte hoito. But I'm always being a carefree person, and I don't care what people say.
Exactly.
I just do the thing which I feel right is true. আমার বাড়ি থেকে fortunately has never been a pressure that
and
you do that.
And that's such a blessing, both of you, I think.
And in 2000, 2005, people taking fashion as a career or as a graduation, coming from a science background.
It's a big step.
Big step.
Madhubitto ekta family te, it's a
so
big step.
Baba was always being supportive in that case. But again, what I was determined that I will do only the thing I like to do. I won't care what the society is telling me, what my friends are telling me. I have a lot of good friends who later now said, okay, you are big, now you're doing that. I said, yeah, I've always wanted to do that.
That's your passion.
Yeah, I have friends who have studied with me doing IT works who get, every evening they call up and said, oh, I'm doing the same job for last 10 years. I said, yeah, that's the reason I chose something which I will love to do and love continuing
every
to do.
day you'll feel like doing it. Exactly.
Because every product, every garment, as Rohan was saying, that Jamata runway is not the excitement.
No.
Excitement is the process.
Exactly.
The process of this creating a new thing is the excitement.
Absolutely.
What happens whenever I do a show, whenever I do an exhibition or anything, my excitement goes on at that day. It's the highest point is still the night before. The next day, okay, the baby is delivered now.
I was just going to say that. After the long gestation period, the baby is born.
Delivered. Now it's up to people. How will they accept it?
I particularly feel very sad when the dresses go away, like when we are done making, because the whole atelier is empty.
I don't feel sad.
I feel sad in a way. Of course, the atelier is empty now. They've gone to their respective stores or whoever's ordered them wherever. And especially when it's a collection that we're presenting, like Abhisek just presented Shoptapadi.
Yeah.
I presented a Starry Night.
Yeah.
And when we finished these collections, I feel
Vishon void hoy. It's like losing a lover, like
absolutely,
I say.
because we're nurturing it from the scratch. The fabrics are coming in, they're getting dyed, and then there's embellishments, and then we're cutting, stitching. So we're seeing it come up right in front of our eyes.
Absolutely, it's a creative process.
And that is where it does bother us, as he just mentioned, we discussed that, when we see a label coming up every other day and, we understand that it's being curated, we also expect that, they pay the due respect And two
actually,
people who've actually
I-
studied.
I agree, I concur. And I would actually have more respect for an influencer like Nancy Tyagi, who at least is going to, Lajpat Nagar, she's going to Sarojini Nagar, she's buying the kapor, lace kinche,
Yeah.
botam kinche, Zardozir, gotapati, ogulo kinche. Then she's sitting and ওর সেলাইয়ের মেশিনে বানাচ্ছে
Well, that's a process you've
That's a
learned.
process, and she's self-taught. একটা গরিব ঘরের মেয়ে, I would rather give her
There's no back point of being a self-taught designer.
Yeah,
like Rohan is a self-taught designer.
self-taught designer, exactly. মানে সবাই যে তোমার পার্সন স্কুল থেকে আসতে হবে এটার কোনো মানে হয় না, রাইট? অর NID বা NIF থেকে হতে হবে তার কোনো মানে হয় না। আজকাল তো আমি দেখি যেটা তুমি বললে একটা লেস লাগিয়ে দিল দুটো, আরেকটা হলো কপি। এটা তো আমি দেখো
Copy is something
কপি মানে
completely.
মানে এটা আই ওয়ান্ট টু অলসো টক অ্যাবাউট। দেখো আজকালকার দিনে আই এম সিইং দিস, মানে এটা তো মিমস হচ্ছে, দ্যাট নীতা আম্বানিজ দ্যাট এমারাল্ড নেকলেস, and you dressed Shashwato for the wedding, the actor of eminence Shashwato, who we all know and love. ওই গয়নাটা এখন 350 রুপিসে লাজপত নগরে, লাজপত নগরে ডিফারেন্ট সঙ্গীতের লোক, এই লোক, অলরেডি ইটস কাম না। তোমরা তো দেখো ইউ আর ডুইং হাই ফ্যাশন in a way. Rohan, you are, I know, of course his genre is slightly different because he's doing a lot of styling and a
lot of weddings
a lot
also,
of weddings also, right? Now এটা কি হয় যে do you feel that today as designers, of course there's this whole controversy about copyright and plagiarism and all that, but I mean India, China, we are countries of dupes.
Yeah.
So how do you preserve your artistic integrity?
I feel very happy.
You feel happy?
I feel very happy when somebody copies me.
Okay.
So it's
You never put a case or something on
never
something?
ever.
Okay.
Quite opposite.
Because I
opposite.
feel so nice that I've done something that people will copy, no?
Okay.
I've done something which is worth copying. And I believe in something that
And
if somebody...
I have seen his designs being copied.
Yeah?
It's not like that. I have been called for a store inauguration where the entire store is copy of my design.
What?
And
you went?
No. That I didn't do. And that I realized later. She called me that, Dada, I have to please ashbin on Notun store. And always, I have a thing for new youngsters coming
Emerging
up.
talent, yeah.
Because one day I was also new.
You were like
and somebody helped me.
Correct.
So that's the reason I should also help someone
Correct,
else.
of course,
Because
paid
I am
forward.
not coming from a NIFT or
Right.
hardcore fashion college.
Yeah.
So I know the struggle of being a textile designing, studying from Shantiniketan, where art is more precise than design, and becoming a fashion designer is a difficult task. So I always prefer giving chances to newcomers. So as she called, said, Mama Notun store. I said, luckily I was not there at that time. I said, I will come visit your store sometime. But when I saw her piece, it's all like copies of my design.
And did she not realize that before reaching out to you? Or was it poetic justice,
I don't know, maybe something.
Okay.
But I'm going
that's-
to second him here. He, like 100%. The fact that he is in favor of youngsters coming, I am a living example here, because the first set of celebrities you have seen or you mentioned who've donned my creations was completely styled by Abhisek. He reached out, he said, Tor eta de, I'll be styling. And when it was him, because I've always been in awe of his work and his career path. So I was like, yes, please. And then I see my work coming up on Swastika Mukherjee, Mimi Chakraborty, Iman Chakraborty, and I was like, okay. I mean, this was way more than I could have asked for. So he's definitely true to his word, where he has, I don't know if he received help or not in his early days.
In different ways, man. So the thing I was telling you about copying thing is like, দেখো আমার জিনিস copy করছে, but they can't copy my mind. So there will be copy, and people who, my clientele will never go and buy from a copy person, because the quality and the will never be same. So people who will buy Sabyasachi will buy Sabyasachi. People who can't afford will buy from Sarojini Nagar. So that's simple as that. So
it's as simple as that.
yeah, so I don't feel bothered when somebody copies me. But yeah, there should be some rules. But in a country like us or China, as you said, it can never be controlled.
It can never be controlled.
Even Sabyajit told in one of the interviews that I feel happy that I've created an industry out of my industry, which is
Absolutely.
surviving on me.
Absolutely. In fact, তুমি যদি মানে Delhi Chandni Chowk যাও, they have like dupes of each and every
design.
lehenga of each and every designer. Ritu Kumar, Rohit Bal, Rohit Khanna, Rahul, everybody. এই তোমার কানজের হলো তো কানজের পুরো কালেকশন বেরিয়ে গেল.
There's a whole big industry
It's
about
a big
this.
industry.
You'll
The
find
entire
in some
Surat.
design stores in Kolkata also.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I'm
So
sure.
there are a lot of designers also buy stuffs and
Sell it as their
resell
own.
it,
Yeah.
a lot
So,
of
I mean,
designs.
have you ever felt that, violated? Because, I mean, it is plagiarism. It is a copyright issue at the end of the day. Yeah.
I have. On a very famous person at an event hosted by her, I walked in and I see her wearing a corset and I was like, Chena Chena mone hocche. And I asked her, Chena Chena mone hocche, I don't remember you picking this up from me. She's like, no, it's not by you. It's like your, it's just like the corset you've made, but it's not you. And then I opened up and I checked. I had made a corset in 2022 for Sevina, the model. It was on net and it just had black crystals embroidered completely on it. It's the exact. It was the exact copy, and I was like, "What?" I was so furious
for
that
instance,
entire event.
yeah,
I was
can understand.
extremely furious.
It's disheartening in a way.
Initially it is. Initially
it is a bit, I
Because
think.
it was a very badly made copy. The
Yeah.
corset was all overlapping in the back. There was a safety pin that I could see it sticking out. I was like, "What is
I
this?"
remember doing something like this. I can understand it because his first few years, that's why he's feeling like that. So, Amar ekbar event which I saw a picture on social media and a new actor.
Yeah.
So copying something worn by Abid or somebody. It was very similar, but obviously a copy or the same thing. So I actually pinged him and said, কপি ঠিক আছে কিন্তু কাপড়টা খুব বাজে নেক্সট টাইম বল কাপড়টা at least ভালো দিতে because it's showing the design মানে when you have created something and you get ওটা তুমি দেখছো সেম জিনিসটা ডিগ্রেড করছে you feel the pain.
Yeah,
That's
of
what he was
course.
saying.
I mean, it is disheartening. That's why it's like enraging.
Enraging. It's not disheartening for me.
It's
It's
irritating.
enraging.
Yeah, it is.
And I ended up, and we walked outside, and I told her, you could have at least hired a better stylist. Said, and she's like standing right
আমাকে
next.
সিমিলার বলছে আমি তো তোমাকে অ্যাফোর্ড করতে পারবো না বললাম you please come to me next time we'll give you a free outfit for this but এটা আমি দেখতে পাচ্ছি না চোখের সামনে.
See, another thing that I want to also bring up is, this pressure to be in designer wear, thanks to, I think, this whole generation of Instagram and, influencer. Everybody wants likes, subscribes. এখন তো blue tick ও কিনতে পাওয়া যায়. So, the halo is also gone. I just feel that, people are so desperate, for freebies. The writer, I can say, a review coming out in the Sunday Hindustan Times by, say, so-and-so critic meant something. A review coming out in the Week magazine by the books editor meant something. Now, book grammars, give me 5 copies of your book, I will give you so many likes. Give me 20 copies, I will, do this, I will make reels on you. And like Anurag Kashyap said, and I'm constantly repeating this because I found it so damn true. He said, earlier when we made a film, the hero or whatever came with a spot boy, the makeup person, that's it. Maybe their mother or somebody came with them. Now it's a whole entourage. If you're calling a celebrity for your event, they will say, "Amar manager will fly first class," or "Kukur, amar ei, amar tai," and then they want freebies all the time. So I think somewhere I feel khabarer khetreo bolo ba mane fashion er khetreo bolo, ei je constantly loke because I want to promote my products, be it clothes, be it food, be it makeup, this giving of freebies and the expectation that so when I told a couple of we had some viewer questions and one of the top questions was, do celebrities pay for the clothes? I mean, that's a question which everybody wants to ask. They're always wearing a Abhisek Roy or a Rohan or this or that. Actually, do they own all this stuff, or is it you guys have to give it to them free?
Depends.
So if they're doing it through stylist, obviously stylist's job is to dress them for an event. And nowadays, nobody gets clothes directly from a designer because the stylist does that. And styling, they don't get it because stylists get paid. Not always, but eventually in some event stylists get paid. Say it's a barter system. So you're promoting a new designer, they get a stylist on board and they do basically getting the designers and styling their look. So that has happened. So celebrities, it's not like they don't buy clothes. But in events, generally people,
Bhareka.
it's not bharika, it's become a system now. So there's a designer, there's a stylist, and there's a celebrity. So the celebrity chooses
It's a bit like a casting agent in acting.
Yeah, exactly.
There's suddenly a bridge, like a middleman.
Yeah.
And also it's needed also, For celebrities, they're going out to 10 events in a week.
They
So
need to look a certain way.
And it's also same a platform for the designer also. Because, if a celebrity wears your design, so it gets highlighted more than anything else you do.
Yeah.
So it's more of like, oh, acha, Abirdari Punjabi Tamachai. It's not that a white Punjabi they want. They want the Abirdar Punjabi because that's more famous because Abirda wore it. So it's a kind of benefits to both of them. The celebrity is getting a clothes for their events, and also the designer is
getting a promotional platform.
Okay.
Okay.
For instance, if a celebrity needs to do a promotional shoot for a designer, he or she will charge more than 4-5 lakhs for a shoot. And the same thing the designer is getting without any money, just for the outfits, but they're getting their clothes back also. It's not that the design.
Of course. But does it always come back?
90% of the time it has.
Okay.
Just a couple of incidents it hasn't. But then again, it's okay because the person has also been more than very kind to me. So it might just be that my case is a little exceptional there because I've met the nicest people. Also, most of the celebrities who've worn my clothes have been styled by Abhisek, and he always makes sure that the clothes come back in the most proper form.
Yeah.
And also in the new generation of artists, they don't want to keep the clothes.
They don't want to keep the clothes.
It was there actually. The old generation of artists, I won't name them, but they used to think that if giving our clothes to wear means they're owning it.
Absolutely.
They're heroines, they're actors who have a room entire of clothes. Free clothes. It's not
Free clothes.
Anything given to him or her.
They still expect.
So not the new generation of artists.
No, yeah.
So who would be old and new? Give me obviously reluctant to name. No, because I'm trying to understand
the
who's
new
old,
ones
who's
are
old.
also conscious.
No, Mimi.
She's a new generation artist. She's professional. She knows.
Yeah.
She won't wear the same outfit next day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They won't
And also the new generation of artists, they're conscious about how they look and how they go out. Because nowadays going out, you get 1,000 pictures. So you can't repeat that same outfit the next day. You can style it in a different way, but you can't repeat that. So it's better to go and get a stylist and get your clothes.
Get a new look.
It's more than outfits, a new look you're getting for any event.
I had a question, which intrigues me with this whole, tomra jehetu celebrity dressing ato koro. Is it difficult to work with stars because they have an entourage and they also come with their, quote unquote starry tantrums, airs, likes, dislikes, preferences and throwing their weight around. Usually amra dekhechi. Tumi to you're so close to some of them. They are your friends. They support you. They cheer you on. They're there at your shows, on the sides to kind of just give you that moral boost. Do you think styling as a profession, is it coming of age finally in Bengal or in Kolkata in the film industry in Tollywood?
Obviously, man, all the young stars, the new generation of artists, they're conscious of what they're wearing. Like now, if you go out, there are 10 paparazzi to click your pictures. There's Instagram, the social media. So people are aware of what they're wearing. So they're also conscious of what they're wearing. So the whole style game is changing. Not even 10 years back, also people used to wear random clothes and go anywhere and everywhere. So now they're conscious even for their airport looks, how they're going out, even for a shopping also, how they're dressed up.
In Kolkata?
In Kolkata. So people are now aware of this new generation of artists, then aware of what they're wearing.
Right.
So, but as you told, there are artists come with their own
baggage,
set of baggages. But that's how experienced are you to deal with that? So if you can ask me, I only work with people I like. You can't
choose.
Absolutely, same here.
It's nothing like that. But initially, obviously, you need to handle. But what is one thing? If you are confident about your own work, the other things get adjusted. If you know this will look nice on you or the other person, then if you're confident about it, then the stars also get convinced. So you need to have the power of convincing them. So that's the whole main trick, because they also want to look nice and your job is to make them look nice. So it's just aligned with them. So that's the main thing you have to do as a stylist.
Who is the one apolitical question, or rather a political question. Who is the one star, Abhisek, who you'd like to completely transform, whose sense of style bothers you? And you're like, oh God, if only they came to me, Abhisek Roy.
A lot, actually.
Bolo too.
Kolkata.
Oh, wow.
Not the new generation.
Right.
There are a lot of from the old generation.
Okay.
You know, Ritudi as a star is so beautiful.
Right.
She's
of
so
course.
pretty and she's classic maintained. But there are times when she doesn't know what she's wearing.
Right. Right.
So that time I feel like, oh, why did she? Because, and also she's a very nice human being. If you go to Ritudi and ask Ritudi, you please wear this, I've made this, but she will wear it. She doesn't think twice before wearing it.
Yeah, I've heard she's a lovely person.
She's a very lovely, and she's very supportive. Initial days, she used to, she's the first person who has took me as a personal stylist.
Right.
I worked for a very short time. But now when I see her in some events wearing something which I don't like, which is not going with her, I feel irritated that, she should have been with someone who will dress up with nicely. But as a person, she's always doing something or the other.
Yeah.
She's not bothered what she's wearing.
No. I think a lot of stars, I mean, I think you're right when you say, the younger generation, say a Mimi or a lot of these people, they're very with it, like they say. Even Swastika, though she's between the two generations, she is totally a style diva, according to me. Bishon bhalo dress kore, and of course you are by her side, I'm sure, guiding her and telling her what to wear. But also, tumi jodi
we fight a lot also about that.
I was just going to say that was my next thing. Because I remember, when we watched her film, LSD2, remember? And we went to have ice cream. And something she wanted to wear a blouse and with a straight face, you're not wearing that. It's not going to go.
I'm very possessive about with the friends or people I work because I know the things, if they don't look nice, I just say it won't look nice. Swastika and me, to amar eto jhagada hore maje maje. So এটা আমি পড়বো না কখনো না, আমি এটা দেখতেও চাই না তোমার কোনোদিনও পড়তে.
Do they listen to you?
She does,
yeah. I know she does.
Even the stars I work with, they trust me. I think that's the reason.
Who are you working with now at the
I
moment?
work with Swastika, I work with Mimi, I work with Abida, I work with Ankush, Andrila, Imon, Isha, then a lot of other stars also. These are people I work regularly with. And Swastika Dotto is also there. There's a lot of people I regularly work with. But occasionally I also work with others. It's not I don't work with others occasionally. But these are people I love to work with.
But you've kind of got branded as a star designer. When I told friends, for instance, that I'm interviewing Abhisek Roy, they were like, oh my God, how can I get one of his blouses? I said, he has a store. No, but okhane to khali star ra jai. But is that a load too heavy to carry on your shoulders?
Actually,
does it have its advantages also?
It has its advantages, but rest I actually don't carry. So it's people what they think. But people who know me, who has come to my store, has felt the warmth, they won't say that, okay, there's only the stars go. Because for me, everybody who's wearing my outfit is a star.
Is a star, yeah.
Because I don't make or design clothes for only stars. When I want to make a normal people look like a star wearing outfit. That's the whole goal of it. So I don't consider that only I design for stars. Because you see a lot of bridal wears in city and outside the city also wearing my clothes for their wedding day.
Right.
So they're not stars. They're like common people. But still they're wearing. So that's the whole thing.
I just wanted to ask you, I mean, I know because I was based in Delhi for the longest time that couture means bridal wear. I mean, largely in India, that's the translation. In Kolkata, দেখো বিয়েতে তো বাঙালি মেয়েরা অফকোর্স এখন অনেক এক্সপেরিমেন্ট হচ্ছে, শাড়ির সাথে করসেট পরছে, যেরকম আমরা দেখেছি, বাট লার্জলি ইটস এ ট্রেডিশনাল শাড়ি, সুন্দর ব্লাউজ, দ্যাট কাইন্ড অফ থিং. ইভেন স্টার্স when they get married, এখানে they like Shohini wore a beautiful traditional sari, gold jewelry. So my question is, blouse. Yeah, okay.
With a very bad blouse.
With a very bad blouse. So what I wanted to ask is that ekhane je bridal market ta, are you all mainly catering to non-Bengalis with your lehengas or do you do the Bengali bride? Okay.
My 90% clients are Bengali brides.
Okay.
And as I work mainly with menswear, so a lot of grooms wear mainly. So 80% bridals wear are grooms wear. And এখনকার দিনে the people are aware of what they're wearing on the wedding day. Because they plan their wedding throughout the year now.
There's so many shoots happening back and
happening. There are number of days even, which I want to extend more. যেটা হলে ডিজাইনার্সদের আরো ব্যবসা বাড়বে। আমি চাই এক মাস ধরে লোকে বিয়ে করুক, রোজ একটা করে ইভেন্ট করুক। এবং সেটা and people are, it's not only that ki bride is cautious what even the groom is now once.
Correct.
And then the whole matching game is there. You want to do something, twinning, something
Couple
to go
goals.
with coordinates with the bride. So that happens, and even the men's are like now aware of what they're wearing. So আগেকার দিন লোকে just গড়িয়াটা গিয়ে একটা পাঞ্জাবি কিনে পরে নিল, এখন তো সেটা হয় না. So I only cater to a lot of Bengali weddings, and that's my business. That's where my bread and butter comes from.
Right.
The whole store, the whole thing runs from that. That's simple. Yeah.
Abhisek, তোমার যে স্টোরটা নতুন খুলেছে called Roy and ensconced in a beautiful old building. Rohan agrees with me when I say that the opening was a movie premiere. Mane who's who of the Bengali film industry came out to cheer you on and support you. Tell me, between both of you, what are the bridal wear but men's wear especially? I mean, I am so proud when I see the way the way you're looking at men is in such a modern light, but you're taking tradition, you're taking the the embroidery, you're taking probably the katha work, and you're putting it on a modern silhouette, right? So the man generally আমরা দেখো বাঙালি ছেলে বলতে ওই as you said আগেকার ওরা একটা পাঞ্জাবি কিনে গড়িয়াহাটের একটা পাঞ্জাবি পরে নিল, কিন্তু এখন ম্যাক্সিমাম সর্বরী দত্ত, আমি যেরকম আমার ফ্যামিলিতে দেখেছি যে খুব এলাবোরেট কিছু সর্বরী, বাট এখন the fact that you're looking at menswear in a breadth way that you don't, always ছেলেরা jeans t-shirt পরতে হবে না, you can have a very signature look which represents your culture, your country, your aesthetics, and look fashionable. So ওই চেঞ্জটা কি তুমি men's wear, I would think you're bringing it on.
It's intentionally because I want it, because I'm always, as a person, is very always cultured and deep rooted. I always, whenever I want to create something new, but I always look back towards my whatever's there, because I always think we are not creating anything new. It's already done. We are just trying to revive it sometimes. So in my new set of designs, especially when Raw, it's a pret line, I wanted the old designs to be there, but represented to be a very new modern way. If you see the shoot also done with Gaurav and on Indo, it's a very nice, fun, quirky shoot, like a Gen X guy. How will he dress up?
Like a modern vibe.
Yeah, Gaurav is smartly carrying a normal traditional kurta with the straight pants. Walking out the streets of Kolkata. That's the feel I wanted.
The vibe.
So the vibe is that. So it's not like men's only dress up when it's the occasion. So regular wear of the men's also needs to be changed. Then the whole fashion game changes. So that's the whole intention. And people are aware of now. The men's are they're aware of what they're wearing. So the reason there's a lot of designers, menswear designers coming up is the reason because people are aware of what they're wearing. It's not like random going to buying a normal thing and wearing it. Just people
shirt pant.
But people shirt also they want something new to it.
Something new. So
that's the whole point.
And tell me about dressing Shashwato for the big fat Ambani wedding, where what people were wearing was the only thing I think talked about, and I felt kind of bad because they made such a hue and cry about, of course, the Bollywood celebrities, but also the ones from the south, say Rajnikant, the Prithviraj, but আমাদের এখান থেকে তো একটা ছোট অন্টোরাজ গেছিল, খুব বেশি লোক না. Apart from Shashwato, nobody really even knew them or talked about them, which was sad. Considering if you see Shashwato, he's acting with stalwarts like Amitabh Bachchan in Kalki. He's done such a great job.
He's a part of 1,000 crore movie.
Exactly, absolutely. And a movie where he is playing a pivotal role. Exactly. The story is actually, happening through him, in a way. Tell me what it was dressing him.
It was it's always very nice to dress him up because he's a person. He's very humble and nice too. And he doesn't care, give you any inputs. Is the only thing is like, তুই যেটা ভালোভাবে দিবি সেটা আমাকে দেখলে আমি কমফোর্টেবল থাকলেই হলো. So Mohuadi, his wife, and we were discussing what to give. I said, I think we both agreed that we should give him something which will represent Bengal.
Right, absolutely.
Because there will be a lot of glitz and glamour around. There will be a lot of one type of styling there. But I wanted to make him wear a dhoti kurta in a very traditional way, but very chic and to go with that
and
event.
Sassy. I think he looked really sassy.
He carried it so well.
So well.
And it's not a pre-stitched dhoti. He wore the dhoti that day by himself.
Okay.
There was no one to help him.
Okay.
So I just gave him a pleated dhoti and he wore it that day.
Oh, lovely.
So that's the whole essence I wanted to give him and to want him to carry throughout the
So,
event.
when you talk about starry weddings, we just talk about Shohini's wedding. I actually thought, I mean, her jewelry was lovely, the shari was a bit
The
like the
jewelry was to
blouses.
die for.
Yeah, but the blouses were, as you said, like horrendous. Is there any wedding recently, তোমার দেখে মনে হচ্ছে God, like তোমাদের দুজনেরই, like even in the Ambani wedding, did you feel, oh my God, like, why didn't we
I
do
to
it?
loved Radhika's next day outfit, the one which was painted. The
Jayashree Burman, Parish
Oh
Maithi's
God,
wife. Yeah.
That's so lovely.
It was beautiful and a great idea,
Yeah.
I think. To take that
And
and
also
put
very
it.
interesting part about Radhika's outfits were every outfit has an authentic touch to it. Maybe the badnis, maybe the intricate embroideries, the zaris. The cultures was there.
Yeah.
She didn't go out of the way, but it was looking very out of the world at the same time. So that's the whole interesting part. People were saying a lot of things about the Ambani wedding, but I think this kind of wedding should happen every year. Because it's a wedding's an industry.
Absolutely.
It's a 5,000 crore spending on a wedding. It's like an industry investment. Because the industry is wedding industry, one of the biggest industry in our India. Designers, makeup artists, photographers, a lot of event managers from a small to small event.
Absolutely.
It's a big industry which involves so many people. It's just not wasting money.
বাট আমরা কি বাঙালি বিয়ের এতে বলছি রোহন, আমি যখন স্বস্তিকাকে তোমার কর্সেটটা পরে দেখি, আমার ফার্স্ট টাইম তখন আমি তোমায় বলছিলাম, মনে হচ্ছিল যে আচ্ছা এরকম, মানে আমারও তো চওড়া শোল্ডার, আই এম নট অ্যাজ বিউটিফুল, বাট আই মিন ইটস নট আ কম্প্যারিজন। আই সেড তাহলে আমি পরতে পারি, মানে আই ওয়ন্ট লুক ফ্যাট, মাই স্টামাক ওয়ন্ট স্টিক আউট, আই ক্যান পেয়ার ইট উইথ ওয়ান অফ মাই ট্রেডিশনাল সারিজ, But when I see a lot of weddings, since we're talking about the wedding market, I also see, this chap of Bollywood. That you have to, matlab, if a star has worn this, then they want the exact
That
same
is
thing.
what you call the trend, no? That is
Right.
what you call the trend. And it is, I think it's our prerogative to make sure that the trend is, gets the due respect. I mean, because it's supposed to be trending. So I understand that this is a style that she's looking for, but also at the same time add something new to it. So it's not repetitive. It is still trending, but it's not essentially repetitive.
Like a rip-off kind of a
So
thing.
we did dress a couple of, Bengali brides, but again, most of my clientele would be non-Bengalis.
Right.
So they choose me for their cocktails, for the receptions, and I like it that way. I mean, I did make a corset for a bride who wore it on her wedding day.
Okay,
And she was like, her wedding was performed by Nandini Bhomik, female priestess.
Absolutely.
I mean, the priestess is performing the wedding. Here the bride is wearing a corset. It's like a lot of stereotypes broken smashed in one evening.
Absolutely.
That was one outfit I loved creating. And apart from that, mostly people come to me for their cocktails or receptions.
Right. তোমার তো পুরো কালেকশনটা, we were talking about সপ্তপদী, when I shared the trailer, people were like, এটা কি কোনো movie? Because it's hard to believe that a designer, his name would be splashed on billboards across the city in association with one of the biggest jewelers, Senco Jewelers, which is like a cult brand of Bengal, right? How did that come about? How did you conceptualize that?
So this was long due actually. So Shaptapadi is basically a wedding collection inspired from a Shantiniketan Brahmo wedding.
Right.
It's not a usual Brahmo wedding. Shantiniketan has its own style of Brahmo wedding, where I have seen growing up, and the rituals. It's like a performance to me, and I used to love that performance. But it has its own style. But I want to do the same thing in a larger than life thing. If you see the set, the decor, the music, we had actually recorded the production. So it was a larger than life wedding, which I always imagined to be. But having that aesthetics, that culture, that small inputs there. So that's, even it's a wedding happening with wearing two people, or brides, and both are wearing white.
White,
Even I have lot of clients who wore white go to weddings. I have at least 100 wedding was white.
Okay.
White and red. Last year also did a wedding for first time, was a white wedding. Bengali wedding. For Shruti, she's one of the television star. So that went viral. Shada. It was complete white. Complete white and gold. The bit of touch of red. So that went viral. And then I thought, now I think it's time to do Shaptapadi. Because Shaptapadi, the collection, if you see, the whole colors are pastels. There's nothing flashy colors, nothing, the embroideries, the kathas, which I've done, is very intricate, very have its own style and have its own glamour to itself.
And
It's
very
not
understated elegance.
Yeah. So that's then the response was very nice. I was not accepting so much of response of the video and the collection, but it is there. So that's the whole game. The wedding game is changing.
And
People
even
are
for Bengali brides, I mean, I would think
they are
that's
trying to
interesting.
experiment their looks.
Yeah.
It's not stuck to any red and gold weddings anymore because people are wearing silvers on their wedding.
Yeah.
I have customers who are like clients who have worn silvers on their wedding day.
Right.
I have people who have worn white on the wedding day, shada and plain white and gold. So that's the whole, because now people are experimenting. Because now, doing something new is the thing. You have to be different from others.
From the others, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, there is social media and we post
I
pictures.
think social media has changed the
Yeah,
fashion
lot.
game.
True. And
to a
with
large
that
extent.
respect, what he did with Shaptapadi, which was absolutely marvelous. I mean, for me, was people might get hooked up onto one outfit or one look, and then the next question is etar sathe ki ba etar pashe ki. So when he presented Shaptapadi, we were sitting upstairs and it was SM Swastika Mukherjee, me and him, three of us having lunch, and he showed us the video on his phone. And the way he did it, like he showed what kind of a set needs to
Correct.
be.
It was a
You
full-on
use white
production.
sets. What are the people who are involved in the wedding? What should they be wearing? What, you have an alpona which is larger than life. You use these the utensils or the pujor bashon,
full.
Pradeep, or the way, very simple thing. Rajnigandha rakha মানে কাশর মানে কাঁসার কলসিগুলোতে, কিন্তু it was, he presented the whole thing in such a way. Our first reaction was, we want to see this on a big screen. Like if you can, please rent a movie hall so that just for 10 minutes so we can watch this video there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I watched it like multiple times and I was like,
that was a wedding dream for me, to do something.
It's very nice.
But as a whole, it should be very aesthetic and very grounded and very simple. But the elegance should be there.
Right. We're coming to the end of our adda because, Akon television, Hoichoi has really sort of brought things up, and, OTT has become such a big thing. দেখো সিরিয়ালের সাজা একটা টিপিক্যাল অন্যরকম সাজা হতো, সে কিউকি সাস ভি কবি বহুতে ওই সিঁদুরটাকে এরকম পয়েন্টি করে পরা, তারপরে সেই বড় বড় মুন্ডওয়ালা, আমি বলি ওগুলো গল, I call it
that's not relatable anymore.
Yeah, I know.
That's
but if you see, because I seldom watch stuff on actually the first thing I had watched was তোমার খালি বিজয়াটা মুখে আসছে because it's new. বলো এটার যেটা she was a police commission. So Nikhoj, that was the first thing I ever watched on Hoichoi. তার আগে I've never gone on Hoichoi and seen anything. So if I see Nikhoj, now I've seen a couple of shows. লজ্জা দেখলাম, আমার মা দেখছিল একটা ইন্দুবালার ভাতের হোটেল, তারপরে দাদুর কীর্তি দেখছি. The costumes have remarkably improved. They're still a bit over the top. Like I was seeing something, where this forget the name. I'm very bad with names. Where the husband is accused of Noshtonir. I think that's the name of the thing. Okay, I thought it was a bit too much. But ওভারঅল বাংলা সিরিয়াল যা ছিল, মানে তাদের সাজ পোশাক, ওই স্ক্রিচি একটা কস্টিউম, তার থেকে এখন কিন্তু অনেক ক্লাসি, অনেক আন্ডারস্টেটেড. ইউ ক্যান মেক আউট দেয়ার ইজ আ স্টাইলিস্ট এট প্লে. There's even the aesthetics, the porda, the sofa, the cart, the bichana, it's...
I think there's an overall development. Like আগে টিভিতে তুমি কি দেখতে, পথের পাঁচালী দেখেছো, রামায়ণ দেখেছো, মহাভারত দেখেছো. What do you see now? You see LSD, you see Emily in Paris. Even the content has changed, so that of course demands a change in outfit,
is there money
style
for
of outfits
stylists
also
in Bengal or Bengali cinema?
Depends on how experienced are you.
Okay.
যদিও আমি 10 বছর আগে যে কাজ করতাম এমন সেটাও আমার বলা হয়, but depends on how you present yourself. But for me, if there is no budget, you can't afford me. But there are also stylists who works under budget.
That's what I'm saying.
Thing is, if you want quality, you will get a quality designer. But budget in itself is an issue for a Bengali industry. Because it's not for design, it's all over the budget is only less.
Budget less,
the budget is only less. But
আর আমরাও তো একটা খুব প্রাইস সেনসিটিভ মার্কেট, বেঙ্গল অ্যাজ আ হোল. তুমি খাবারের বলো, কিছু সবকিছু লোকে মানে দাম দর করে একটা মধ্যবিত্ত একটা মেন্টালিটি আছে আমাদের.
So budget is always an issue there, but it's not that there is no budget also. I have worked with a lot of films where there's decent budget. You can't say it's low budget, but there's a decent budget. The decent budget is always there, and also there's low budget things. But then quality people will always work with decent budgets, not the low budget ones.
And who do you think is the worst dressed? I'm acting like a super, Anna Wintour kind of person now, but who do you think is the worst dressed celebrity in the city?
Current times.
Current times?
Deblina Dotto.
Deblina Dotto. In the men, since obviously that is
Men
your forte.
actually
I think the men are pretty
Men are
witty.
better. They're better
Yeah,
because.
I agree.
And also, if somebody doesn't know how to style, they always go safe and wear a white check or
এটা আমি দেখেছি
হ্যাঁ।
ছেলেরা কিন্তু এখন মানে কলকাতা যারা ইভেন দ্য মানে যারা ধরে নাও টেলিভিশন করছে খালি দে আর নট মুভি স্টার্স they are also very very particular about their physique, their shoes, their look,
exactly.
everything. I think the men are catching
But it
up.
depends on the stylist, because recently not recently, I think last year, towards the end of last year, I've seen an event, a fashion event, an award ceremony where every single attendee looked like a disaster on a level which made me think if I want to introduce myself as a designer coming from Kolkata or not.
Oh,
it was
God.
absolutely horrendous. I'm sorry.
It was a fashion
I
award, by the
hope I hope the audience can relate to which event I'm
So that's
mentioning
my,
too,
that's
but
one of my
Well, it was style
concluding-
awards.
Yeah,
Style awards. They are
awards.
absolutely
I
horrible.
know, Mami, I was just going to say that. Style
Each
awards.
and every attendee or
So,
a winner,
আমাকে একটা কথা
they were
বলো।
so horrendously
আমি তো আমার
dressed.
এতে দেখেছি মানে আজকাল আমার কাছে মেল আসে you can nominate yourself for this award, you give 5 lakhs, you get this prize, you give, so I don't do award shows as a I won the NDTV L'Oreal Woman of Worth award, but that was a popular choice award, and at that time the people I knew in NDTV like, Shree, you won it, you have to come, it's such a prestigious thing. Like I won the United Nations award, but আমি usually award show আর lit fest থেকে দূরে থাকি because I think it's all a sham. It's like all a sham. Fashion এর কথা বলো, all these awards, এখন তো দেখবে every second day there's a fashion award, a style award, a stylist award, best dressed award. এগুলো কি
I stay
অনেকটাই
away
কেনা?
from- no, I stay away
এগুলো
from
কি
it.
অনেকটাই কেনা? অভিষেক তুমি তো
It's not about Kena. It's now, there are a lot of awards which people give awards just to be there.
Right.
You call a celebrity, they will charge money. If you say
Yeah.
you're good in an award, you will come by themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the game.
So মানে award পাচ্ছে বলে তারা ফ্রিতে
ফ্রিতে
আসছে.
আসছে,
To
get an
get the
award. হ্যাঁ।
I mean,
You stay relevant that way.
okay.
Nothing
I don't know how relevant,
There are
but
10,000 awards happening every
Yeah,
day.
exactly.
And everybody's getting an award.
Right.
That day, once I wrote on social media, like long back, 4-5 years, that I will create an award, I will make the trophy, and I will get it only. I don't have to call anyone.
That's true. I mean, it's like me, myself, and my super ego.
Yeah,
you
that's what's happening, because all these award shows, you call up people, you tell them you're getting an award, you come. That's the whole thing.
know? Yeah.
But then Bengal's film fair also showed that it's not just award ceremonies. People can go badly dressed anywhere.
I mean, there was a lady, I forget her name, and I'm not being diplomatic. I mean, shotti, I'm bad with names, as you all are seeing. She's wearing some white feathery
That's
something.
Deblina Dotto, by the way.
That's Devlina
Yeah.
Dotto.
Why?
Because she thought she would be very...
But who is her stylist? Why are they? I mean, even
Ferns
Aishwarya
and,
Rish,
probably ferns and
Shane
petals. Probably ferns and
I
petals.
never go on anyone's page and look for who has styled it, but I made sure I will go to her page. I've seen her videos, and I've laughed of my life. And she
have you ever thought of
and
making
the
up the
fun
We were
is-
sitting together when we saw the.
yeah, and I love her as a person. She's very nice, very
so have you
sweet.
just picked up the phone and said the key?
No, and thing is like I think
Probably not her
and
fault.
the comment was more funny that people of Kolkata don't understand.
My fashion.
Yeah.
No, but it's probably
Was
the
it fashion
stylist.
to begin with? I mean, this is what I'm saying. Dekho, even Shane and Falguni Peacock, why would they dress up Aishwarya Rai orokom bhabe at Cannes?
He
Well,
dressed
and
her like
Shree
a strangled
Tulonai,
peacock.
If you see
Oh my God.
Anusha, the girl who won from Kolkata, if you see, that whole film cast, all of them, the Chaya with her
So much
Marathi
better.
nut, with a, ruffled blouse and a, Gadwal shari. So
much
original,
better, so much
classy.
better.
Like Nandita Das in her
It's
sarees.
you fashion
Ratna
or
Pathak
something,
Shah,
something which represents your personality.
Yeah.
It's the outer self of you, who you
Exactly.
are.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't go something or wear something which is not you.
Right.
If you're wearing something, for instance, Shrustika, she can carry off anything.
Absolutely. She can.
I have gone to Vrindavan and she has shopped a 100 rupees sari and you won't believe she wore it for an award show.
Yeah, I can believe it.
And
I've been with her.
she's glammed it than anyone else.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you need to either have a personality to carry everything. then it's fine. Or you don't have the personality, you're just putting on yourself. You're pretending to be
Vidya
someone.
Balan ke dakho, her whole career got screwed over because of her bad styling
bad
choices.
styling.
Right? I mean, she would not get parts because of the way she was dressed. So I think when styling is critical.
It's very critical.
What are the common mistakes that people make in styling? I mean,
Choose
too
a bad
much,
stylist.
Well, obviously.
Choose a bad stylist.
The main thing is, I think they want to be someone else. And especially the problem with this Kolkata artist, I would say, not everyone. They say, I want to look like Deepika. I want to look like her. I want to look like him. But that's not the point. You should look like yourself.
Correct.
So I've working with, suppose, Mimi and Swastika and a few others. They never say, I want to look like Deepika. Mimi always rather says, I don't want to do something which I've already done.
Already done.
So that's the fun. That's Swastika something. That's the fun. Because you want to do something new.
Yeah,
which people will follow.
Yeah.
You are not the one who's trying to be someone else.
Right.
Whenever you try to want someone else, you will do a disaster.
Yeah.
Because that's not meant for you. A particular style is only suits suits with your personality, the way you carry yourself.
আমার ফাইনাল প্রশ্ন, আমি এরকম ভাবে বসে একদিন পেপসিকে ইন্টারভিউ করেছিলাম at the Lakme India Fashion Week, when the Fashion Week split and I was the journalist who first reported that split. It became the Lakme and the the FDCI led Fashion Week. My question is, এখনো কলকাতা বললে for people outside, oh Sabyasachi, because he's made Calcutta into a brand, he's made West Bengal into a brand. What's lacking in terms of infrastructure, funding, visibility, media coverage that we are not seeing another person? সব্যসাচীকে আমরা কলকাতার আমরা খুব ভালোবাসি, যেই ফরেন রিটার্ন কেউ আসে, তুমি দেখো এই যে মেয়েটি অনুসুয়া কানজের বেস্ট অ্যাক্ট্রেস পেলো, তার আগে সে কে, সে কোথায় ছিল, কেউ কিছু জানে না। যেই পেয়ে গেল কানস, কলকাতার মেয়ে, লেক গার্ডেন্স এর মেয়ে, টিপিক্যাল কলকাতা, বাইরের থেকে তুমি একটা গ্লোরি পেলে। তো সব্যসাচীকে আমরা খুব প্রাউডলি ক্লেম করি কলকাতা, এখন লেক রোডে ওর মানে স্টুডিও, বুটিক, হোয়াট এভার হিজ অ্যাটেলিয়ার। কিন্তু at the end of the day, how much time does he spend here?
True.
Is
because
he actually
Kolkata gives us lack of endorsement.
That's what I'm saying. What's lacking
There's
here?
a lack of endorsement. The people who are entitled, they expect we will dress them for free. And the people who, like, they are the ones who could have actually, who could afford
your
this.
stuff, yeah.
But that they're going the other way. If they can afford it, they themselves become the PR, or they themselves are becoming, curators or hosts, and they expect us to do them like dress them. And there's lack of endorsement from the rest of it, which is why, I mean, Kolkata, there is like for in our generation, we have Abhisek, we have Bobo, like great brands. And I think there's just lack of endorsement. We probably are endorsed more outside Kolkata.
Yeah. And also in terms of, like, for instance, why am I not seeing an Abhisek Roy featured in Vogue? Why am I not seeing Rohan Pariyar on the cover of Harper's Bazaar? I myself, as a Bengali woman, as a journalist, a former lifestyle editor, I feel that, Bobo, as you said, a great brand, very unique. I think their signature style is absolutely
stunning,
uncommon. ওরকম ভাবনাই অনেকের হয় না, কিন্তু we still don't see that limelight. It's still the Bombay designers, the Delhi designers, even people from Goa, South. It's largely Bombay and Delhi. If I can be honest, even Bangalore has Priyadarshini and Jason Cherry and all, but and Goa had Wendell. I mean, he had done a bit of a Sabyasachi. He had taken Goa to the world stage. এখানে তুমি বলছো endorsement, কিন্তু মিডিয়া
also one more thing,
endorse করছে,
there's the originality lacks. So if you see Sabyasachi, we follow him, he's very deep rooted when it comes to his outfits, his designs. You will see the old designs reviving. That's what I told you. He's something which is original and pure. I think that takes time, but it will happen. When I got a call for Saif Ali Khan's design, so he wanted a Bengali designer to do something with a Bengali style. So now, in a era of social media, with social Instagram and everything, people, it's not very, you don't need a lot of effort. If you do something interesting and something new, people will find you out.
Right.
People will find, that's true, because Kolkata, the main problem is not even Poisha nahi, because people, if they do 2-3 shows and get 5 log janlo, they think they are celebrities. not even the designers, others also. And they stop there.
They stop growing.
Growing. I think that's the thing, because every day, what I still being almost 10, 11 years now, I feel I done nothing. I have to still do something new. So I think that's the whole lack we are having here in the city. Because people are very happy with something small.
So, we've had an incredible Adda. I've enjoyed it. Like I said, for me, it feels like a blast from the past. I feel very hopeful about fashion in Kolkata. As I said, I was so proud when I had interviewed Sabyasachi, তখন ওকে সবাই Pepsi বলে ডাকতো, and he was not the Sabyasachi. But as you said, the originality. I still remember that show at the Lakme Fashion Week where he was a young designer showing then. Scrawny, very nondescript, and restless as he always is. And he had done Alta, and Shola je Mukut Thakur poren, সেই headgear. And the styling, that Boishnober, that, jeta ora mathaye ekta tika deয়. And then, Goro, then, so I think keeping your own style signature intact, where you're from, like tumi bolchila Ambani wedding er kotha, you see the southern superstars, their wife, Jyotika, who's such a big star herself, she's wearing a gorgeous, simple Kanjivaram. A pink and green Kanjivaram with, elegant temple jewelry. She was not wearing any Manish Malhotra or whatever. I mean, nobody even knows uni kotha theke onar shaita kineche. But, it stood out in that bejeweled jewel
That's
garden,
the originality and purity you get.
That's the purity you get, I really hope that, we see both of you someday, one day, on not just the cover of a magazine, but, making women and men, and, even filling the gender neutrality space, which I think is so emergent that today fashion doesn't have to be a man's clothing or a woman's clothing. Anyone can wear anything. Like I'm trying to have Pushpak on my show because I love the way he sort of takes the sari and makes it his own, right? I hope that we will encourage, firstly, youngsters to study fashion, to pursue fashion, even if they have studied something else, if they want to really, make that Cinderella gown, for parents to say, yes, it's okay, like your parents, to say, yeah, do what you want to do, which makes you happy. And I think fashion is, the reason I became a fashion writer was because I grew up a very fat, and I felt very ugly. I was fat shamed, I was bullied, I grew up without a father in school. When I went for J.J. Valaya's show, I sat, of course, I was not on the ramp, and I was just a journalist then, a very young journalist. I felt beautiful. And I think one of the reasons I loved writing on fashion or, talking about textile and heritage was I realized that it was actually gender neutral. It was actually agnostic of religion. It was like art. Art has no boundaries. It has no gender specifications. It is pure, So I hope that, these young Turks of Bengal, someday, you will remember this podcast and remember these wonderful people. Abhisek, thank you for styling and restyling some of our, popular faces. As I told you, Ami Nije, I can vouch that over the years, tomar hat lagar por, it's been like a Midas touch. And I know even a Mimi Chakraborty or Abir, I think they've really, up their fashion meter, even a Shashwato. I mean, he was the one, along with pictures of the Kardashians and everybody, dear old Shashwato, in his dhuti Punjabi pati. So this is, I think, a victory and a joy. Rohan, thank you for showing me a woman who still feels like a fat girl trapped inside, that a corset, a European silhouette is not a no-no for an Indian body. It's just an experimental, silhouette, and I can team it with a lehenga. I can team it with anything,
Absolutely.
I can be anyone I want to be. So thank you for, this lovely Adda. I hope you guys had a good time, a good chat. And amra ekta show er sheshe cheers kori. So to more such Addas, to more fashion. Cheers. And on to the next. If you like today's podcast episode and you want to be a part of these conversations that I feel are not just interesting addas, but they also inspire us. They teach us about the life journeys of different personalities and therefore shine a light on some of our darknesses at times. Do like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell icon.